Let me join others and congratulate Angus MacDonald on not only tabling the longest ever motion to Parliament, but more importantly on securing this debate. And let me thank my intern Anna, who is bilingual English and Mexican Spanish, who's provided my speaking notes for me tonight. So she's familiar with bilingualism. And picking up on what John Finney said, my mother was born in Leith and Dalmeny Street in 1909 to a native Gaelic-speaking father and an Anglophone mother, and learned Gaelic to some degree before she went to school. When she went to school, she was punished if she used it. She left school with no Gaelic and ironically became a language teacher in French and German, but had no Gaelic. And that's the message down the ages. I may say I'm very much looking forward to hearing from Peter Chapman, who far surpasses my trivial amounts of Doric. And it's worth perhaps making the point that I think Doric is actually a language in its own right. It is as close or as distant to English as Norwegian is to Swedish. And those are two languages recognised as such, and I think it may be time Doric similarly should be recognised. Let me join others in congratulating Bord na Gaelic on the work that it's been doing. Very successful in promoting Gaelic and in particular creating access to Gaelic at an early age. We're seeing a stabilisation in the number of people speaking Gaelic after a particular period of difficulty, and especially there's an increase in those under the age of 20 speaking Gaelic. And after all, if it becomes the language of the young, we can see a future for the language. I hope that that continues. We know that Gaelic is the key to Highland culture, heritage, tradition and society. We have got other languages which sort of dribble into our perception. So just a mile outside my constituency is the town of New Pitsligo, and its alternative name is Caac, C-A-A-C-K, which is actually Bythronic Gaelic. It's really Welsh. So we've had a long history of many different languages. Now, teaching has to be important in preserving our traditions, but each of us individually can play a part in this. Expressions inherited from our ancestors are important, and if we use the oral tradition to pass them down, that's good. Multilingualism is a key European value, crucial component of economic growth and of social cohesion. But not all governments agree. I think we've been particularly disappointed to see a failure in some cases to allow Gaelic teachers into Scotland at first asking, when there are places elsewhere that have Gaelic. So I hope that we won't see a repetition of that. There is an acute shortage of qualified Gaelic teachers, and we don't need further barriers to their coming here to help. The Scots Language Awards last September, excellent contribution to this particular area of policy, gave much deserved recognition to many talented writers, performers and educators who work in Gaelic. Now, we on the doorsteps of Parliament have a new statue to Robert Ferguson outside the Canongate Kirk. And I just want to close with one verse of a 9-verse poem by Robert Ferguson, which was published in 1773, and it is really directed at us politicians and our potential arrogance. It's called The Braid Claith. Ye fa fain to hae your name written in the bonny book of fame. Let merit nae pretension claim to laurelled wreath, but happy we'll be back and wame in good broad claith. We can learn a lot from the Scots language in the 21st century, even if we have to go back to the 18th century. And of course, Robert Ferguson is the person that Robert Burns described as my elder brother in the Muse, presiding officer.